invite His Excellency Mr. Bendito dos Santos Freitas, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Cooperation of Timor-Leste, to offer his remarks.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Distinguished Madam Chair, Her Excellency Ms. Serap Güler, Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs of Germany, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I wish to express our sincere appreciation to the Chair for inviting us to brief the Commission and share our experiences and lessons learned on peace building. It is both an honor and a profound responsibility to address this esteemed gathering during the annual session of the United Nations Peacebuilding Commission. Today, I speak on behalf of the Democratic Republic of Timor-Leste, my country. This nation emerged from the shadows of conflict and despair to stand as a living testament to the possibilities of peace building. Our experience, though born of hardship, provides invaluable lessons for the international community as we collectively strive towards sustainable peace worldwide. Timor-Leste's journey to peace was neither linear nor simple. Decades of armed resistance against colonial and foreign occupation culminated in the 1999 UN-supervised referendum, in which 78.5% of the Timorese voted for independence. This historic decision triggered a violent backlash that destroyed an estimated 70% of public infrastructure, displaced hundreds of thousands, and caused immense social trauma. The subsequent intervention by the International Force for East Timor, Interfaith, led by the UN, was instrumental in halting violence and laying the groundwork for peace. From 1999 to 2002, the United Nations Transitional Administration in East Timor, UNTAD, governed the territory, guiding the establishment of state institutions and supporting national dialogue. This historical context shaped the contours of our peace-building trajectory, underscoring the importance of context-sensitive, inclusive and sustained peace-building efforts. Central to our success was the genuine engagement of all sectors of society. Peace-building efforts included national consultations, constitution-building dialogues, and village-level reconciliation meetings. The National Dialogue for Peace and Cohesion, 2007 to 2009, involving traditional leaders and political actors, helped mediate post-crisis tensions and reinforce collective ownership. Women's participation was ensured through mechanisms like reserved parliamentarian seats. 38% of the parliamentarians today are women. These mechanisms have been critical to ensuring inclusive and sustainable governance. Timor-Leste prioritized building resilient public institutions from scratch. With UN support, we established a functioning parliament, judiciary, and police force. The Timor-Leste National Police Force and the Defense Force underwent restructuring to ensure professionalism, depoliticization, and civil oversight. The Civil Service Commission, Anti-Corruption Commission, and Office of the Provider for Human Rights and Justice, Ombudsman, were developed to promote transparency and human rights. Recognizing that sustainable peace requires tackling inequality, our policies targeted high poverty rates, then over 50% in 2001. National programs such as Bolsa da Mãe, a conditional cash transfer for vulnerable families, and Programa Nacional para Desenvolvimento do Suco, a village development fund directly addressed rural exclusion. Investments in education, with literacy rates improving from 58% in 2004 to 77% in 2022. And healthcare services have laid the foundations for long-term social stability. The Commission for Reception, Truth and Reconciliation, CAVR, established right in 2001, collected over 10,000 testimonies and documented human rights abuses from 1975 to 1999. It's called SHEGA, Stop, Basta, Enough. Report alone with community-level rituals for forgiveness help bridge divides. Local initiatives like Nahe Biti Bot, a traditional conflict resolution practice, complemented formal mechanisms allowing victims and perpetrators to participate in culturally resonant processes of healing. International partners respected local leadership, strengthening Timor-Leste's success. UN missions evolved from transitional authority to advisory roles, ensuring continuity and alignment. Crucially, peace-building funding was coordinated with national priorities, especially through the peace-building and state-building goals framework under the Z7 Plus platform, an initiative Timor-Leste helped establish and continues to champion. Ladies and gentlemen, since independence, all peace-building and development programs have been systematically integrated into Timor-Leste's annual government planning frameworks. These efforts are anchored in the Timor-Leste Strategic Development Plan 2011 to 2030, our national vision for achieving peace, prosperity, and resilience. The Strategic Development Plan encompasses three main pillars: social capital, infrastructure development, and economic diversification. The key targets include reducing poverty to below 20% by 2030, achieving universal access to clean water and sanitation, expanding the GDP per capita from approximately $1,200 to over $4,000, creating over 200,000 private sector jobs through inclusive rural development and investment. Strategic Development Plan also includes specific indicators for institutional performance, youth empowerment, and the rule of law, reflecting our understanding that peace is multidimensional. Through annual government action plans, Plano Anual de Atividades, these long-term objectives are translated into short-term and medium-term deliverables, reinforcing accountability and coherence. Ultimately, Timor-Leste envisions transitioning to middle-income country status by 2030. Peace-building is not an isolated policy, but the foundation of our national development strategy, embedded in every sectoral policy, from justice and security to education, climate resilience and digital governance. Excellencies, we have learned that transitions are generational. For instance, political violence reemerged in 2006 despite international presence. These underline the need for long-term engagement, which Timor-Leste maintained through national planning cycles and adapted programming. Local ownership is indispensable. Our peace was not imposed, but negotiated, debated, and claimed. External partners must respect national agencies and cultivate civic participation. True resiliency comes from within. Also, our journey confirms that peace is political, economic, social, and psychological. The interplay between trauma healing, economic empowerment, and legal reform must be addressed holistically, not through fragmented interventions. The synergy between UN agencies, donors, civil society, and the government was critical. Joint frameworks like the UN Timor-Leste Compact have aligned assistance with measurable results and reinforced trust. It is true, though, that we face new threats now. From climate stress, Timor-Leste is ranked among the world's most climate vulnerable countries to youth unemployment. Over 60% of the population is under 25. Peace building must be dynamic and future-oriented. Madam Chair, Excellencies, Timor-Leste stands ready to share its experience and learn from the collective wisdom enshrined within the International Peacebuilding Community. Sustainable peace is not a solitary achievement, it is a shared responsibility. Thank you.